The Italian Wine Podcast is the community-driven platform for Italian wine geeks around the world. Support the show by donating at ItalianWinepodcast.com. Donate €5 or more and we'll send you a copy of our latest book, My Italian Grape Geek Journal, absolutely free. To get your free copy of My Italian Grape Geek Journal, click Support Us at ItalianWinepodcast.com or wherever you get your pods. Grazie mille.
Welcome to The Next Generation with me, your host, Victoria Cece. This is your podcast to learn about all the cool things Italians 30 and under are up to in the food and wine scene. And yes, that includes all the best things to eat.
Hello, everyone. You're tuning into another episode of The Next Generation with me, Victoria. How's everything going? Today, we have a very special guest coming to you all the way from Australia, actually. We have Federica Bonetta. Ciao, Federica.
Hi everyone.
Hi. So, well, for me, it's 9 a.m. For you, what time is it there?
It's 5 p.m. Yeah, I'm talking with you from my room in Melbourne. So I'm in the South Australia right now. I'm not in Sicily, I'm not in Milan. I'm just finishing my master degree here. So this is the reason why I'm talking from Melbourne. And thanks for having me.
It's so incredible. You're like island hopping, going Sicily to Australia. I mean, Milan's not an island, but you know what I mean. It's kind of like its own island in its own way.
Yeah.
But that is so exciting. And you're just what? You're just 23 years old. So you're moving around a lot.
I decided to move to Milan to start my studies there. So I'm from Sicily, but I decided to live in Milan since 2019. I studied economics and business administration there. After I finished with my bachelor degree, I decided to start with a master degree. And right now I'm completely my master degree in economics. So finger crossed, I will finish this summer and graduate on September.
Well, best of luck with that. I obviously have so many questions for you, so I guess we should start from the beginning, I guess is the best to say. When did, little baby Federica realize that she wanted to be in the wine world?
I grew up among the vineyards with the sound of clicking wine glasses and the aromas of must, So wine is part of me, I can say. So I always walking around this family business, and it's a family business. So when you visit, you immediately feel at home. So I decided at first to focus about my academic study, like to study and to grow a little bit. And right now, of course, I need to do some choice. I don't know, but I'm just figuring out what I'm gonna do in the next months. But I'm pretty sure that I wanna travel a little bit before coming back to Sicily. And I think that is the best choice for me right now. Travel, discovering new things, and being an added value after my academic and professional background with me.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry, I didn't introduce your family's winery, but it's the Baglio del Cristo di Campobello. Is that the...
Cristo di Campobello, yeah, exactly.
Okay, just making sure so everyone hears it. I know it'll probably be in your pretty little show notes, but just a good shout out. But that's so special. I mean, granted, you're so very young and so much future ahead of you. And of course you have to travel because, there's so much to learn in our world, not just wine, there's other things to explore. Of course, when you're young, you want to eat good food, you want to make friends, all these things. I mean, speaking of which, how has it been, in Melbourne, especially as someone who is a wine lover, do you find yourself actually going out and drinking wine with friends?
Oh, no, actually, I will be honest with you. The only thing that I miss right now is people that want to drink wine with me. I think it's like a cultural thing because here people about my age are not so interested into wine. So I'm a little bit sad just for this, but I really love Melbourne because it's so international. But with this age, maybe my age, at least 23, 24, is not easy, to find someone to drink wine with you. So I think it's a cultural thing. You need to hear people are not like with the European culture, and after university you don't go to a wine bar and having a glass of wine with friends. You probably go around having some Asian food, I think is what I see. So it's completely different.
No, I can imagine. I mean, what do people drink there? Like, is there a drinking culture?
Beer, of course. It's the Commonwealth. Yes, states. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Commonwealth states or the British culture is dominant here. You can find wine lover, but not like under 30, I think. So it's pretty complicated. Of course, I'm drinking wine also here. So I can't live without wine. So I'm just trying to explore Australian wines, but I drink Italian wines, I'm honest.
There's a lot of, Italian varietals that have traveled, to Australia. Like, have you been tasting any of those?
Not yet, because I'm just completely this month my exam, but on June I wanna go to Yarra Valley, that is a Victorian area nearby Melbourne, and I will visit some wineries. I can't wait.
Oh, that's so exciting. And yeah, I can imagine you really have to plan in Australia because it's so big.
Yeah,
It's, like you look at it from Italy, because Italy, I mean, obviously it's a lot smaller. And it's like, even you could kind of figure out how to get to, like, even if I'm in Rome. So it's like, if I wanted to, I don't know, go to, like, let's say Valdobbiadene, like I could still take a train and then find a way someone to pick me up. Whereas like Australia, it's like you're in the middle.
you can't do anything, at least without a car. So you need to have a car with you, and I need to finish my exam right now. So on
Yes, yes,
June.
of course. Sorry, priorities is your school, not drinking.
Yes.
I'm trying to be a good influence since I'm older than you. Do your work. After you finish, or when you're not studying, I'm sorry. Have you tried any like Australian wines you've liked?
Are you enjoying this podcast? Don't forget to visit our YouTube channel, Mama Jumbo Shrimp, for fascinating videos covering Stevie Kim and her travels across Italy and beyond, meeting winemakers, eating local food, and taking in the scenery. Now back to the show.
Syrah from Victoria area, and it was like from a small producer I met in a local wine bar, because when I go to a wine bar I always talk a lot and ask a lot of questions to the sommelier or the people that I met there. So I was lucky because I found this guy that was making this fabulous Syrah, small production, but was so good. So it's nice every time I have the possibility to talk with a producer too. So it was really nice.
I know that you probably like really surprised them. They're like, "Who's this girl like that knows all this like knowledge about wine?" And then she's like Italian,
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
why are you here?"
I look so young, so every time I talk about wine, they are so shocked, especially here, because as I told you before, young people here don't drink wine, so they are so shocked about me.
Oh, I can imagine. And I get it, because when I like started in the wine world, I was like 22, 23, and they would make a joke that I wasn't old enough to like work in wine. And again, granted, like in the States it's 21.
Always like that, always.
Yeah, but they were like, "You look like you're 17." And I was just like, "Okay, well, you're hiring me, so I don't know like if you want to take the risk." But oh, that's wonderful. But it also, like, I have to ask, because you're Sicilian, and Sicilian food is so good, and so, obviously different all over the place, all over the island, I mean. But like, how has it been with food, like, in Australia?
They don't have like particular cuisine. Here you can feel a lot of mixed culture. So the most part you can feel the Asian part a lot, because people also here, also my friends, they are all from Asia. A lot of Indonesian, a lot of Chinese, Japanese. So everyone in Melbourne is a little bit difficult to find like 100% of Australian, because it's such a international place. So you like have the opportunity to talk with the world. You know, I live with 6 guys from around the world. One is from Jakarta, one is from Nairobi, one is from Tokyo, and it's the best things that can happen to me because I just open the door, I talk with the world, I can say. So it's a really nice things, and they are so kind, and I really appreciate like the difference, see the difference between me and them.
That's so special, and it's such a unique experience that, like, and why, it's such a great thing that you can travel, especially when you're studying, because it's so hard. Like, when are you ever going to have that moment? I mean, again, working in the wine industry does allow you to have those moments. It's one of the things I love about the food and beverage industry is, like, you can still have that. Like, you don't have to still be in college, but, like, it feels like you can have, like, you can sit in a room in a tasting and be with people from all corners of the globe. But for sure, living together is another thing, and that's incredible. I think thinking about, you're building your wine knowledge and eating all these different foods, it actually probably just strengthens your palate and your, like, curiosity, right? About, like, what pairings and things, especially with, like, Sicilian wines. And the Sicilian, I mean, I love food history too. And I mean, Sicily has so many, cultural layers in its cuisine. Obviously, it's definitely far from maybe Indonesia, but like,
It's so nice. Like today, I was having pasta with pomodoro with tomatoes, the simple one, and Kosuke, my Japanese friend, was making noodles. So it's seeing our table is so nice. It's so funny, like me with pasta and him with noodles. So I really appreciate this moment. Oh, it's so nice living here and appreciate all these cultural things, cultural cuisine. So I'm so glad to be here.
absolutely. And because sometimes we forget, and I think I was talking about this in a recent interview, like, food and wine for sure is about the tasting and understanding, the technicalities and the history, but most importantly, it's about how you share it at the table and the conversations you have and the memories you have.
Like wine. Wine is all about sharing. So food and wine is like the perfect combo. And it's difficult talking about this here because, as I told you before, it's not so common talking about that. But I think it's just a cultural things.
For sure. And I mean, as you were saying, like, there's always, like, kind of how you were eating the pasta and your Japanese roommate was eating the noodles. There's kind of always, like, a conduit. There's always, like, a point to connect, even if the things you're eating or drinking may be different. There's, like, might be some kind of similarity
Yeah,
or some kind of
yeah.
aspect to it, like, maybe, like, who made it for you, or, like, who showed you at first, and you find that at the table. How long have you been in Australia for?
I arrived here the last day of February and it was summer. Now it's autumn here.
Oh, right, yeah.
The season is completely different right now. So we have 2 summers. I'm so happy to because we have 2 summer. When I come back, it will be summer in Italy, so I'm happy about that.
That is awesome. Yeah, I'm jealous of that because it's starting to get hot here now.
But yeah, it's also too. It's like 20 degrees, so
Yeah, no,
it's so good having this kind of autumn for me.
that's beautiful weather. Well, I wanted to ask you one big important question before we wrap up, and something, because, and we kind of talked about it through the interview with, seeing the drinking customs in Melbourne, and then, thinking about, your culture as a Sicilian. How do you feel? And you can answer this also with your dreams about wine drinking. But for, like, the young generation, how do you feel about how young people are drinking wine? Like, what do you see? Like, what do you hope to change?
I can use like an example about me in Milan because Milan right now is changing a lot, and I like this the phases it's going through. It's becoming more and more European. In fact, in the past few months, many avant sorry for the French term, but they are like neighborhoods wine bar have sprang up, and I have many beautiful memories in this place. And I love like homely atmosphere that you can feel, a convivial atmosphere where everyone just want to enjoy themselves by drinking wine. And I believe that the rise of these new venues is bringing younger consumer closer to the wine industry, because the wine offering are very broad, and they are, of course, super famous wines that come with a high price tag, but we all know that you can drink well without spending a fortune. So there is a lot of talk about natural and biodynamics wines, but I say long life good wine, because too many labels are being created and I see a certain confusion among consumers. So I think that we should guide them, not complicate the situation, especially at such a delicate time for the wine industry, where we've even talking about no alcoholic wines. So it's a fact that young people are leaning towards alcohol wines and fresh, easy to drink wines. But I believe that we all need to adapt to these demands, considering sustainability and climate change. But I think that the wine industry, like the wine of the future, there will be a strong focus on experimentation, because nowadays every younger consumer wanna try these organics wines, like as I said to you before, fresh and easy to drink wines. So I think it's completely different, like the approach to the consumer behavior in general.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, because Rome is experiencing a similar thing to what you're discussing about in Milan.
You know, the cheerful, youthful mood with that place with the soft lightings, small noises. That is nice because allow you like to easily talk to everyone and meet new people, like with genuine food, many bottles around you, and it's nice if you think that this formula with can be a way to introduce new consumers to wines. But I'm a little bit worried just because there is a lot of labels, and I see a lot of friends also that are a little bit confused about that. So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Organic, biodynamics, natural. What's they ask me, Federica, what's happening in the wine industry? What's and I'm like, I'm just figure out like you.
exactly. And we also, you and I, have to think about like what the average consumer who doesn't come with a bunch of wine knowledge thinks when they are presented with this. And they, everyone wants something. They want something that they'll enjoy drinking, but people, are also a bit, you know kind of health conscious. If you tell someone that a wine is better for them because of these things, and they'll stick in their brain, right? And they'll be like, oh, okay, so I want, this kind of label of like, biodynamic, whatever. And I'm with you. I think we're in an interesting time where we have this door that's opening for young people to, come in and drink more wine, and they enjoy and they feel like part of the community. And there's these really cool places, and they're introduced to all these bottles just, in the ambiente, the environment. But when it's curated in one way, it's almost cutting off a bit of the story of wine and the holistic kind of approach of like understanding really the Italian wine industry. And I'm always a proponent of like, supporting, smaller producers or family owned, wineries that like have transparency with what they do. Like I'm not someone who's a stickler about these like, labels myself. Kind of like you're saying, if we could find some kind of, middle ground, some kind of way to bring it together, we really can have a beautiful future. Because in Rome, there's these really, really lovely places to drink wine and meet people and hang out with great music. Like they combine music and
Yeah,
wine.
in Milan it's like a new wave. And living in the city, I can see how consumers and their tasting are evolving. So it's like this new wave, the wine world that can help young people understand how and what to drink. Then it's a great thing. But what remain crucial, in my view, is like the role of the bar manager sommelier, because the bar manager sommelier guides people in their wine choice, and he needs to stay with them to tell the story behind each bottle. We really need like this kind of people who can explain why in a professional but in a fun way.
Yeah, we need to find a way to like combine like the hip wine guy with the professional sommelier. Like find some kind of middle ground. I really like the businesses I'm seeing, especially for Italy, because I think given the way the country's marketed, especially for tourists and things, sometimes Italy gets stuck in this like old school kind of lens. And I like these young businesses because it gives hope for the future in this country too, like in general, like of what Italy could, can become. And also that it's a very modern country in many ways, So I hope we can combine this history with this new culture.
Trying to do our part. We just presented our new association, and I'm really excited about that. That is called Generazione Next, so next generation in English, and we just presented during Vinitaly. So I'm really happy about that because we trying to do something good together with other younger producer, the Sicilian younger producer, of course, and we try to do our best to really develop a new culture wine to adapt the modern wine with the new consumer. So it will be a really special challenge, and I'm so ready for that.
Wow, that's amazing and such a beautiful thing to like wrap up our interview on because wow, you have like that to come back to. That's a beautiful project. That's really special. And yeah, we may need another podcast to talk about that because especially with Sicilian wine. Well, Federica, thank you so much for your time and yeah, especially literally your time. I'm so happy we had this chat and I really look forward to seeing all the amazing things you do.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, really.
Awesome. Well, I wish you the best of luck finishing your master's, and hopefully I will see you on Italian soil one day.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Thank you to everyone for tuning in today. Ciao, guys.
As always, a big grazie for hanging out with me today. Remember, you can catch me on the Italian Wine Podcast every Sunday and anywhere you can get your pods.